Well, welcome to this is the show. We're live. This is recording now. You're very worried, Conor.
I'm fine.
I think I'm gonna leave these on, and I'll pop them on and off. I want you to have the bass though, Oska.
Oh, you're gonna put that near me?
I want you to have the bass.
Okay,
that's important. You can play the bass.
Yeah.
So this is. Do I do the intro now?
Yeah, man.
I'll do the intro now. So this will be episode 5 of The Joker and the Bard. So welcome, audience and listeners. This episode is actually going to be like a bonus thing because basically the local Brighton skater gang. We are the local Brighton skater gang. They got hold of the podcast and were like, fuck yeah, let's go.
They're going to do a takeover.
They're going to do a takeover. So this is the Skater Invasion hostile takeover.
Very hostile.
Very hostile. So it's I am actually nervous, audience members. I'm scared because these guys are some of the best the best skaters I've had the pleasure of skating with. And they have their own style of skating. They're Slappy kings, Slappy monsters. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good fun time. And just try to stay on the roller coaster that this show is inevitably going to be. Anyway, without further ado, let me introduce to you that rhymes. So we've got Oska, who is he's a beat maker, he's a skater, he's
Cunt.
He's a cunt. There you go. Oh my god, so this is it. This is okay. So I've got to bib some shit now. No, I won't. Do we bib? Do I bib swears? No, you can fuck yeah. You can swear on the podcast. Yeah. No,
I love how quickly that.
Yeah, no, I'm changing. Like, no, I gotta get into the level.
Can we swear?
Fuck
yeah.
This is my show. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we have Oska, and that lovely cunt over there is Conor. So. I guess this is the Joker and the Bard. So the whole idea of the Joker and the Bard is for people to come on and tell their stories, and I will try and make the story as lucid as I can by helping the storyteller. So Oska, you promised me numerous stories, but the story I'm most interested in at first was your psychosis Jesus story.
Okay, so we're opening with heavy guns. Alright, okay. You want me to just go straight in?
Just go straight in, man. Just give me it, like, from the top. So wait, so actually, so what's the context of this? Like, when was this?
This was probably around 2015, 2016. And I was, like, living in squats at the time in, like, London, in Camden. And sometimes the Old Kent Road as well. But yeah, this was after a party at the Old Kent Road in 2015, 2016 time. And me and my mate Ben, we were absolutely sloshed, and we'd been going for like 2-3 days on speed and booze, and I think we maybe even had pills over that weekend. But yeah, it was a heavy one, and we'd been awake without sleep for like 3 days.
Right.
So we were kind of like at our limit of, like, not quite our limit. We managed like 4.5 days once. That's another story. But we were nearly at our limit of like how much our bodies could take before they completely collapsed. And we were kind of parting ways. I was going one place to sleep and Ben was going somewhere else.
And where were you at the time?
This was like near Camden Station.
Camden Station?
Yeah, like the big like kind of square around Camden Station, main central one. And there used to be, I don't know if it's still there used to be just before it a big McDonald's, like a proper huge one. And me and Ben went into the toilets at McDonald's and it was rammed in there. It was really rammed. We went into the same toilet. And we emptied out this horrible little bag of speed that we had.
Right.
And we crumbled out all the things onto our phones and made one final line each. And we both had a line, and then we parted ways. He went off to wherever he was staying. I went off to wherever the fuck I was staying.
So wait.
No, I must have been going home. I was going to Croydon. I was on my way to Croydon. So,
right.
So I get on this train, and basically there's two trains. I need to catch one train to Highbury and Islington, and from Highbury and Islington I catch myself a West Croydon train usually. But I ended up having to get on a Crystal Palace train, which is sometimes the case because it doesn't go all the way to Croydon, then you have to change there. So I fell asleep on this train to Crystal Palace, and I had this really vivid dream on this train And
wait, so on a train, Crystal Palace.
Palace in London.
One last line of dodgy speed.
Yeah.
And you're finally resting, and you're basically going into that state.
This is the thing. So it felt like a dream, but it probably wasn't a dream.
Right.
So in this dream, I'm doing air commas. Air commas? You can tell the lager's getting to me. The air quotes. This dream, I'm pretty sure it was real. So I was at Crystal Palace Station, and everything was kind of like hazy, and then like these announcements started coming over the tannoy saying, "You are Christ. I have your mother.
Whoa.
You need to capture. You need to retrieve your mother before we kill your mother." And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what?" And all I can remember of this air quotes dream is running up and down different sets of stairs at Crystal Palace Station, trying to find what door they had my mother in, and running from platform to platform. And then, no resolution to this dream. I wake up on a West Croydon train. So the adjoining train. So in this time, I've changed train in this dream.
More air quotes there, just
sorry, in this dream.
No, do it, man.
And I wake up at West Croydon Station, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I didn't really manage to like unpack it until like a few days later that it was just psychosis. That it was.
But that's the thing. So just to pause there really quick. So what I'm really curious about is, so firstly, when you had your like auditory hallucination, right, and you perceived that to be unreal, right?
Yeah, it was like something from like a kind of a thriller film, you know, like
right.
The enemy's talking over the tannoy, and I'm about to find them.
And you heard it, like your experience of hearing it was as if it really had been the case that like the tannoy made the sound.
But it's like hearing voices in a dream. It's like waking up and hearing what voices were like in a dream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you recount your dreams and you wake up, it wasn't like I had no like actual memory of it, but I had the memory of this dream that I had,
right,
which must have been a psychotic episode.
Right. Wow. You don't think it could have? You could have just. Well, no, because you woke up on
a different
fucking train.
Yeah. So I must have. My train was going to Crystal Palace, where I needed a change. I could have changed at the stop before, but I think I had fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And woken up in a psychotic episode.
Holy fuck, man. But so what happened then? You get you wake
so
up.
I get to West Croydon Station. I go home and I sleep. Of course, like I've been.
You're
on,
not
like,
pranging out about it. Like you're not like.
No,
oh my God,
I didn't really.
I just had a psychotic episode. Like I should see.
No, because as I said a minute ago, it took me a few days to have the clarity of like that was a psychotic episode. In fact, it's taken me years to have the clarity that it was a psychotic episode. But you know, I just thought it was like a weird thing that happened to me whilst I was fucked on speed.
Yeah.
Because I had a line literally like 15 minutes before this all happened.
Right.
And then I fall asleep and I wake up in total psychosis. You know.
Fucking hell, man.
At least you made your train home, man. Like, that's one positive.
No, but I fucking hate train rides, so I'm glad that I fucking psychosis the shit out of that.
You don't like a train ride? I love a train ride.
I'm bored of train rides.
Really?
Yeah, I find them fucking tedious.
Yeah.
Psychosis helped the train ride.
It gets you through the journey.
A little bit of psychosis.
Yes.
It's like that spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
It's a great brand name. Psychosis train ride.
Psychosis train ride. Yeah, we'll put that on the bottle.
You're gonna hear a song at the end of the podcast by Psychosis Train Ride.
Yeah, we'll do it. We will do that. We're going to make a beat and do some freestyling later, so I'm up for that. So that was your and why Jesus? You thought your Jesus had your mum, or you were Jesus?
The tannoy was saying, you are the Messiah. You
right,
are,
okay.
I don't know if it was the words Jesus, but you are like the Messiah.
Whatever you're,
and we have your mother captive, you know? Like, it's incredibly weird.
And I guess, do you feel very strongly for your mum? Like you have a good relationship with your mum?
Nah, not really. Nah.
Okay, interesting.
No. Yeah. I think that was just I don't know where that came from.
Wow.
But yeah, not from there.
Fuck. Okay, yeah. Don't ask me about my father.
You know the truth.
So all right. Wow. Okay. So So that was, thank you for sharing that. That's a big thing. Like, to have the clarity later on to realise and to understand, it's like, it's fucking hard work. So, but you guys are a bunch of psychonaut crazies. That's really me. I shouldn't be saying that. We should.
No. I mean,
I'm one of you.
I think we're both. I think as curb skaters, you've kind of got to be a bit of a wreckhead.
Yeah, you do. Like. You do. So maybe we did say we were going to go deep. I told you this was going to happen. I told you. So now we go up. So you guys have a curb skating story. Like, there must be one. I know there's a few, but I don't know if we want to talk about them on the pod. But
I'll talk about it.
No limits.
It was a time I robbed this bloke. It was brutal.
So do we? So maybe we can go. Actually, do you explain like what is curbside skating? Like what is what are Slappy? What is a Slappy?
It's funny actually. The first time I ever met him and started skating curb, I broke my left wrist. The first time I ever met him.
Yeah, that's what curb skating is.
Yeah, exactly.
On the day, you did it. You were trying a Slappy.
Yeah, trying a Slappy trick.
Yeah.
So that was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
Introduction.
Yeah, I mean, like curb skating, it's just like a kind of downplayed version of transition skating, you know.
Transition being ramps and things like that.
Yeah, like things like ramps, you know, like how you would approach a ramp and do a grind. It's quite similar, you know. It's not like ledge skating or street skating. It's more like you take more from ramp skating than you do.
Right, interesting.
But you're in the street, so it's a bit of a contradiction. What is it, ramp or street? Probably street, but yeah.
I like to think it's. I've always wanted to be a cool street skater and not one of those guys in the park. You know, I always felt like, you can't skate the curbs, you can't skate the street. I always felt very insecure about that.
Yeah. But
now I'm a street skater, so it's like it's alright. But then I go back to the lagoon when we were skating the lagoon, and I was fucking rock and rolling on that like quarter pipe. I nearly shit my pants, man. Like, that shit's terrifying.
There are dodgy ramps at Lagoon.
I eat shit in that mini ramp so many times.
I did a frontside 5-0 over the crack in the half pipe.
Yeah.
The big crack in the middle of the half pipe. I frontside 5-0'd over the crack. That's the only time I'm ever doing that trick. One and done.
Yeah.
One and done. But a lot of one and dones. Yeah,
a lot of one and dones, and a lot of like, okay, I can do it. If I need to go there again, I can find it. Right? It's like I know I've got it. I know the one and done very well.
But I mean, like with you, when I first started skating with you, Conor. Sorry, I realised there's no one looking at us. I've got to be a bit more. You'd never really done anything like that, but you took to it like a moth to a flame, you know. Like
curb skating is very addictive once you like get it. And also we've got a curb quite local, but it's like amazing. They don't kick you out or anything. It's really
the security are really sound there. You know, it's a really good vibes spot. Yeah, especially when it's been like really busy sessions recently. You know,
definitely you get like 10 or 12 people down there. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if it's because like skateboard's having a resurgence through the Olympics and stuff. Yeah, there's more people skating, and there's more people who want to get outside of parks as well.
Yeah,
people feel the confine of a park is a bit too much like pressure,
and it's intimidating,
especially when you got people looking at you.
Yeah, the parks are intimidating. Yeah.
So I'm signalling for a Rizzler.
Oh, you just want a Rizzler? Yeah.
If I see.
Do you want a big one?
Oh, I love a big one.
Yeah, take a big one.
I love a big one.
Helps that we got a selection. Any dealer's choice.
I love it. Have you got a roach, or should I roach you?
Yeah, no, I have a.
Oh yeah, I see him.
Use one of those ones.
Thank you. You're darling.
You're very welcome, my sir. My sir, what the fuck? That makes sense. Oh my sir. Darren, you'll get me doing panto voice. I love it.
So, I had to tell my psychosis story.
So you got another psychosis?
No. I had to tell.
Oh, you had to tell.
I'm gonna force Conor into telling a story that he's given me a preview of.
So Conor, you had one planned. You've got one planned.
I do, yeah.
Go on. Look at me, Conor. What have you got? Well, go on.
I got two planned. But
you got two.
You got me two. It's a choice.
We've both got quite a lot of stories. We were talking about it on the way here.
Yeah. Fucking let it, man.
A lot of weird things we've done in the past. But I'll probably have to tell the story about my first threesome, to be honest with you.
Your first threesome?
I think I told you this.
Mate, I've heard of what. Okay, oh my god, can I get the full? You told me and Liam this.
Yeah.
Mate.
I did.
Yeah, that was such a good day. Oh, mate, yeah, go on. Yeah. Okay. So wait, can I just want to lead into this. So basically, Conor has a threesome story, and we've had a threesome story on the pod before. We've had one before. It was very brief. This one,
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And Liam and I, animator Liam, cartoonist Liam, surfer Liam.
Yeah.
We heard like a very kind of watered down, a rough and ready version of this. Like we got it. So I'm hoping, Conor, you now have the airwaves and the space to really give us the
saucy details.
The saucy details.
Or lack of. So I started working in London when I was about 17, and I met a girl at a bar one evening because my boss told her I had a lot of money, which is actually not true at all. So things proceeded on. It went alright for a few months, and so effectively how it ended was that she realised that she was a lesbian.
Right.
And obviously I was one of the things that made her realise this.
Not surprising.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But mug on me, mate. So a year's gone by.
You're beautiful, Conor. Come on, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're gorgeous, man.
Yeah. So a year's gone by, I get a text saying, someone from this girl saying, we're having a party at mine. Do you want to swing by, bring some stuff, bring a bottle of wine? So I haven't seen her in a while, but I've got nothing to do. It's a Saturday night. I'm sat indoors thinking, yeah, fuck it, man. I'm going to go. So I got to the door. Obviously, you expect the party to be buzzing. There'll be music on. There was fuck all. I got inside.
So wait. You got there, fuck all. So you're anticipating. Did she tell you it was a party?
Oh, she told me it was a party. Yeah.
So you're anticipating like
coming
10...
under the pretense of a party.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
I'm gonna get the mingling.
Just from all, I was probably 19 at this point.
Right.
I'm 25 now, so it was a good few years ago. I was probably still quite, naive and whatever. But yeah, so I got to the door.
Empty house,
no music, no lights on, you don't see anybody. So she opens the door. Her and her girlfriend are sat inside, so come in, it's really great to see you. So, where's the party? I was a bit of idiot reaction, and like, no, there's no party. The real reason you're here is because we think we have an interest in men now, and you're the sort of guy we knew. I was like,
what? So hang on. So what? If you give the the reason you know the girl was because you were once in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
You weren't in a relationship
months.
for 2 months, and you weren't in a relationship with her at the time.
No.
And should we just, for the sake of the story, I'll call her Susie.
Yeah, so Susie, yeah.
So Susie is your
Susie, if you're listening, you're a bit of a bastard.
I'm sure.
Oh, dude, nah.
No. Wait till you hear the story.
So Susie was your ex-girlfriend at the time, right?
Yeah.
So even so at the invite, she was not with you.
No.
You were not together.
She'd moved to America and then moved back.
And so, when you went in and you saw the other girl who were called Tracy.
Yeah.
So you saw Tracy and you
Tracy
go. You go, oh god, I watched that show too much, and then go,
too much.
And Tracy goes, you're like, you Tracy, you're Susie's girlfriend. That makes sense.
Hold on, actually, did you know the other bird, or was it a complete random first introduction?
It was a complete random introduction. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd thing.
Yeah, a bit of weird context to meet for the first time.
because I believe at the time that was what she was going on to after she met me. So
right, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all good stuff. So I walked in the door. I said, "Where's the party?" I've had a few beers already. I'm up for it.
You had a few beers before you arrived.
Excuse you, dirty bastard.
He's not done that today.
So I walked in, and they said, basically, we think we have an interest in men again. Obviously they could have told me this, and I probably would have gone.
And they said we, as in like the royal we.
Oh, the royal we, yeah.
Wow.
The collective we.
The collective we, yeah.
Not the royal. The royal's just me.
I'm royal. So they said, we'd like the prospect of a threesome, effectively. So.
And had this always been in your
prospectus threesome?
This had always been like you'd will it. You're willing to do something like that. Like,
fuck yeah, man. I'm a normal bloke, I'm 19. I'm thinking my knob, not my head.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. That's just
so crass.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm very sorry.
I think you've ruined his podcast.
Basically, this is actually the audience for this. Is like, I'm not even joking. I'm like, it's a philosophical podcast, right? So it's really funny because what I'm hoping to do is essentially like introduce real people to philosophers. It's like, guys, get out of the universities and meet people who are like experiencing the things you're trying to understand.
Well, like us.
Yeah, exactly that.
stand up and blow the smoke out.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, but no, you're not. Just don't, dude. Just tell it how you tell it, man. It's an interesting, beautiful story. So
it is an interesting story, yeah.
So they tell you, yeah, we're just the royal we wanna play with a boy again. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So this sort of goes on, and things develop until there's a distinct lack of interest from the other side, and they basically say, in fact, we're not actually interested in boys. This is another awakening. You've helped us realise that we don't actually like men anymore.
And so you get, because I remember I had to like claw some detail out of you. I remember when you told this story last. So it you know, you're kissing, it's intimate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's this kind of phase change.
Oh, definitely.
Realization.
Yeah.
Where
100%.
It's just not, the vibe just doesn't click.
But like looking at each other, like, you know, this is really, really unappealing. And then until the point where they just say, you know, we're not enjoying this, and also I think you should leave. So at that point I was a bit drunk and I got a bit offended and stormed out.
Yeah. And then
slam the door.
And slam the door, and you go straight home.
I wandered outside a bit, getting quite angry, but after that I went home. Yeah.
And what? And so that anger is quite like. And what was it? The anger was the thing that you reacted with, right? Like
the frustration more than anything. I think.
That's the way.
Oh no, man! What?
Yeah. I told him a story of where I jumped out of someone's window before.
Yeah.
And frustration is the word. Frustration.
Yeah, frustration is definitely the word, man.
But that, like, because I find that, like, I go quite often to, like, any kind of, like, negative. I was literally screaming at myself because I've left my laptop in a fucking comic book shop. I'm fairly sure that's why I've left my really expensive laptop in a comic book shop. And it's like, why the fuck do I do that? And I just immediately just get angry. You get angry, and it's like, it's just this weird trait of, like,
I'm properly guilty of that.
Yeah, you suffer the same sort of.
Yeah, I go to anger.
Yeah, you do.
It's like the quickest thing. It's like it kind of acts as this, like, it's almost like I've always thought of it as you're taking back control from a moment you have no control in, and it's like I have zero control right now, so I'm just gonna get super angry and do whatever my body demands of me, which is running around punching walls or whatever it is the angry man does, and that's what I've done in the past. So no, that's really interesting. So like you're really angry, you're frustrated, and then how does it kind of come down? How do you get out of the anger?
I think I went to the pub, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah. I used to drink at an Arsenal pub near Holloway Road, and I think I stayed out till like 4 in the morning.
Just getting drunk?
Probably, yeah. And whatever else I was doing. But yeah, that was about it.
But that was, so there you go. That was another heady, hardcore story of just like unrequited love, I suppose, right?
Oh yeah.
Like that's really all it is. It's like that unrequited love.
Down to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's a situation of being.
Yeah, man, I've been. Yeah.
Like, because I completely sympathise. I would just be like, but you've called me out.
Exactly. That was what I was thinking.
But you've called me out.
You guys had organised this. Like, what are you doing?
And am I right in thinking that they told you to fuck off, basically?
But he said, "Oh, you know, this is quite uncomfortable for us. I think you should leave." So bearing in mind, this is her dad's house, like in Stoke Newington, and it's a like big, expensive house. And they're like, "Oh, so when you leave, don't make too much noise. The neighbours are around." I was thinking, "Fuck that! I'm gonna fucking scream."
I mean, like, yeah. You could, like, you don't have to leave.
No.
It's a bit awkward, but you could go, alright, yeah, this ain't working. Do you want to go for a drink in the front room? Yeah, actually. Let's go put some tunes on.
Let's just talk.
You know?
Like, so don't rush into things.
Yeah, but you telling me to fuck off makes me think you fuck off.
Right, interesting.
That's how I would react to it anyway, which sounds like how you react.
Pretty much,
like,
I did get out because I did, you know, I was what you say, frustrated. I thought, as a matter of fact, you called me. I didn't call you.
As a matter of fact. Oh,
you called me and then kicked me out. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you're here, you survived it. You've only grown as a person.
Oh, yeah.
You've only grown.
You only just survived.
You only But no, I mean, your move down to Brighton, like, that was a big thing for you, right? Like, that I mean, I remember when I met you, and, like, suddenly now you're, like, this incredible runner. You're skating all the time. Like, your work is going well.
Work's going well, yeah. Work's going alright.
Yeah, man, you're crushing it now, so...
Yeah, it's not bad. It's alright. And it all stemmed from that moment. I walked out of there. Thought this is a low point. I'm gonna move to Brighton.
I'm moving to Brighton. They don't want me up here. I'm going down there. Yeah.
I think that's the exact reason why everyone moves to Brighton.
Yeah.
Everyone's been in that situation.
A failed threesome.
A failed threesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't had the opportunity. I think personally, I would be so scared. Like I can barely keep one lady satisfied. I think trying to keep two would be a bit of a mission. Did I really just say that on the internet?
Yeah.
I can barely keep one lady said no. Trust me, there's no problem in that department. There's no problem in that department. So I'm just going to whisper into the mic and make sure that everyone realises how good of a lover I am.
Oh, you're great, mate. Oh, you're amazing.
See, Conor knows. See, whilst Conor had a failed, whilst Conor had a failed threesome,
Conor got the first hand and the second hand.
Had a failed twosome with yours truly. So there's that. Moving on very swiftly. What was your? Did you have another story? What was yours?
You've had one.
I've had one. I'll take one.
I'll let you get it later.
I'll get it later.
I'll have a few more beers to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
We can pause as well. Like I have the power.
Oh no.
You want to just keep rolling?
We don't need a pause, do we?
No, I don't need pause.
You don't want to pause? Mate, I'm fucking like I want a gin and tonic.
Okay,
G&T?
Yeah.
Right,
G&T break. Well, I mean, G&T break.
Yeah, let's do a G&T
I think that's
break.
up everyone's
I'm
street.
really tempted to like cut out the bit about my whole section about unable to please women. I feel really like guilty. And weird.
No, you got to keep it in.
Do I have to keep that in?
Yeah,
Can you just speak to that?
Well, I wasn't even introduced at the beginning of the podcast, so I'm just kind of like, I was hiding in the corner. I didn't want to say anything. There were moments where I was like, I could say something funny, but no, I didn't.
You should say. You should say your. That's why you're. You know, this is yours as well. You should. You should jump in, Lill.
The royal we.
The royal we.
You're next on the story, by the way.
Yeah, Nils, have you got a story?
Yeah, no.
Me?
To
Yeah.
be fair, yeah.
Come on, take the hot seat.
Oh my god.
Wait, do you want to do it after the break?
Yeah, I reckon so.
We'll do it after the break.
Also, yeah, disclaimer, like, Harrison is great, man.
Thank you. There we go. That's on the internet now. Your father's listening to this.
It came full circle.
It came full.
No, but that's the thing. I think my dad would know that I wouldn't stick around if he wasn't.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are engaged. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a break there, so you can recover as much as we can from this skater invasion insanity. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you after the musical interlude that we'll probably record as well. I don't know. Jazz. Oh. So that was Beerman Oska on the bass there, and everyone was just slagging off my bass. But then Oska suddenly realises you can slap like a motherfucker on it. So thank you for that. That's now in.
I realised very suddenly.
Yeah,
it was really sudden.
It was a moment of satori, let's say. So welcome back after the break.
Doesn't feel like we had a break.
We've been chilling out a little bit, hanging out. I think Lianne might have a story for us.
I can't think of one.
You can't think of one?
Not at the moment. I'll try and think as we talk.
Okay, well if one comes up, so then
turn.
it's my turn.
You got a story.
Oh yeah, come
Shall
on.
I give a story?
Yeah, got it, man.
You're the host, man. Come on.
Oh, shit, man.
You got to drop
Be
a story
gracious
now.
now.
Okay. I'll tell the story. You were in this story. You're in this story.
Oh. Crazy.
So this is the story of when I first performed
Oh
live.
Yeah.
When was this?
This wasn't long ago.
Yeah. A few months ago.
So this was like, it was hot, wasn't it? It was like
very
2
hot,
months
yeah.
ago. Very hot, like June day. I think it was
Probably
June. So
July.
very hot, like early July, late June. And Liam and Conor and I, we were we planned to go skateboarding in Seaford. So Seaford has got a wonderful skate park. We all enjoy it very much. And we wanted to go and skate. But also, the other thing that I had on the agenda was Mr. Fox, who has been on the show before, my father-in-law and Leanne's father,
Fantastic.
the fantastic Mr. Fox. He was playing a Seaford open mic, but it wasn't just any Seaford open mic. It was the Seaford Talent Show, and it's at the Seaford Little Theatre, which is a very, very lovely theatre.
It's a nice theatre, yeah.
Really gorgeous theatre, and it's run by like just dedicated people of Seaford. And I didn't know. Well, anyway, I wasn't planning on like. I had no agenda. I didn't know. I didn't even think. I was just coming to watch Mr. Fox play. I was excited. So we went skating first, and we had a good session. Like we were all three of us, me, you, and me, Conor, and Liam. We were all in like good form. We were shredding. We had like 3 or 4 games of skate. Like putting some good shit down. Like
Yeah, it was good,
Good day of skating.
yeah, it was like I had one of my best days of skating ever. I'd say. Like it was really. I got beat at skate though. Like I was out first every time. Like you and Liam were way better at skating than me. I was so fucking annoying. I choke under pressure. It's amazing I can do this.
Speaking of which, we had a crazy game of skate that went on for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
earlier
Oh
on.
really? 45 minutes?
Yeah,
Fuck
like
yeah.
really long game of skate.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry,
intense.
sorry.
No,
it's
it's
like-
good. It's good. Look.
It was like letter to letter. It was
Really?
great,
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm jealous. And yeah, so we finished. So we're sweating, and all this time, Simon is texting me like, "When you come in, you coming?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're coming." So we go up. I say, "Boys, we got to go," and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'm like, "We're gonna go see Mr. Fox play electric guitar in character on Seaford Little Theatre stage," and they're like, "Okay." And you didn't know that was happening, did you?
I had no idea.
You had no idea. I do this to a lot of people. I don't tell them things. And then I bamboozle. I like to bamboozle. I bamboozle myself a little too much. So we were coming. So we were going. So I said, "Let's go." And we get there, and then we watch like 3 or 4 people, and like I was like vibing. I committed to the vibe. I was trying to get the crowd going a bit. Like I was clapping and cheering in the back. Like there was a poet came on. He read a wonderful poem. There was an ABBA, which I just about got through without crying and killing myself, like because I just don't like ABBA very much. I don't know why. I know.
It's
Classic.
a sad state of affairs.
It's a classic.
honestly.
The ABBA are like the best songwriters.
I can't do it.
guess
I just can't do it.
I like
They
death
make.
metal and shit,
Yeah.
and ABBA are still fucking.
I just can't do ABBA. Like, do you know what? I think it's because my fam, like, I think there's some childhood trauma to do with ABBA that I
Yeah,
just
no,
not.
I get that. I get
Yeah,
that.
I
I got
think-
an auntie who used to listen to ABBA, and
Yeah.
she's a right cunt. So yeah, no.
So yeah, I don't know. Something weird. Me and ABBA don't really want to pull that thread too hard because I'm worried I'll start crying.
It's alright, let him out.
We can do, yeah.
That's what we're all about.
That's what
Us
it's.
curb
We're
skaters.
just got like.
More
We're
emotion.
constantly crying.
Yeah, just crying and eating concrete, crying.
Even when we don't want to cry, we force ourselves.
A nice cry down at the curb.
Yeah.
Really sorts you out.
Sorts you
Read
out.
your favourite magazine, have a cry.
So I drag Conor and Liam unknowingly to this play, and we're watching these performers. And the whole time I'm kind of clapping and cheering, and I notice I'm getting a bit of attention from the person running the thing. And then once Mr. Fox performs, it's phenomenal.
It was very good, yeah. He's a very good guitarist.
He's incredible, and we were kind of blown away, and I was cheering, clapping. And then at one point, the manager of the show, she starts walking over, and I looked at Conor and Lee. I was like, she's gonna tell me off. Like that's what I thought. I was like, I'm gonna get told off. Told to quiet down. And she comes up to me with a pen and pad and says, "Do you want to get on?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Do you want to get on? Who are you? Do you want to get on?" And I was like, I remember thinking, well, I'm not gonna get another fucking chance like this. So I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she went, "Have you got any music?" And I was like, "Well, I've got SoundCloud." And she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Wow, okay, right." Doesn't know what SoundCloud is. So anyway, I'm doing a mock imitation. She'll love this. But yeah, so she basically says, "Well, what's your name?" And I go, "Well, it's super fluidity." She's like, "The fuck is, what the fuck is that? What is that?" And I was like, "Well, I could talk to the science, but it's a rap name. It's my rap name." And she's like, "All right, well, I'll write that down." Fairly sure she did not write that down, but she wrote some form of that word down.
Yeah.
And my heart is racing at this point. I'm so nervous. Like I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually going to do this. I've just seen, Mr. Fox do it, and I love the man to pieces. So he gave me that power, that courage to get on stage. And I've never been on stage before. And I'm not joking. There's like 30, 40 people in the room. It's like busy room. It's not like you're playing to no one. You're playing to like 40 people.
Yeah, intimidating.
It's really intimidating. And I remember thinking like, oh my god. So my turn comes around, and she says, I can't even remember. Do you remember what she said, Conor?
No, it wasn't super fluty, was it?
It was. I don't know what she said. It was like, this is someone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool, whatever. I'll get up. So I get up on stage, And Conor just knocked the mic, and Oscar's very mad there.
Sorry.
I'm gonna beat him senseless.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Not again.
I'm gonna mic beat him.
Not again. I'm not for guys.
I get off on stage, and she hands me an iPad, and I'm sweating balls off because I don't know the words to my own music. I learn it. I freestyle a lot of stuff, and then I play it back and record. I release freestyle. Right? I don't know the words. So I'm thinking, all right, which track on my EP do I want to do live? And I'm like, well, the beat that I actually really made was Summertime with More Bass. Like that's our beat. Like we really built that song. So I was like, oh, I'll play that one then. And then, bear in mind, I've never been on the stage before. So people who've like been on stage, quite often you have like a sound check. So you know where the monitors are, you know what you're dealing with, what the whole feeling of the room is. I have not had a sound check. They hand me a mic, first time I've ever really done a live mic like that before. And I explained to her how to log into SoundCloud, frantically find my thing. We find the track, and we're playing the whole track, and I'm basically dubbing over my own vocals.
Oh god, you had to do that all on stage.
All on stage, and I've got 40 people staring at me, and the whole time I'm laughing my head. I'm wearing sunglasses because I'm like fucked in my brain. I'm like, there's no way I'm not. I have to do this. This is such a big moment for me. I really want to do this. I never thought I'd get that far in my rap career, right? And I know I'm playing just a fucking talent show in Seaford, but it's still a big deal for me. So I get on stage, yeah. And we find the track, I pick Summertime Blues, and the whole time I'm like telling her, whispering to her, like on stage, like I've never done this before. And she's looking at me like, oh, you're an expert, you know, you've done this loads of times. And I was like, no, this is literally the first time I've ever done it. She didn't believe me. She's like, you're a pro. And I was like, no, really not. And so...
Because you introduce yourself as
a fucking rapper, yeah. It's like, that. Who does that? I do that apparently. But yeah, so the music comes on, and I asked the sound guy, I was like, what have I got? And I'm like, I've got left and right going out to the crowd, and I've got another monitor on stage coming back to me with the exact same whatever. It's not just a mic, it's everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. So the music comes on, and at the beginning of the song there's a hook that isn't by me, so I just I try and sing along to that, and I'm probably out of tune, I don't remember. But I'm moving, I'm having fun, I'm bobbing and weaving, it's good. And then, as the verse comes in, and I'm in my brain so much, I'm like, I don't remember all the words. So I muffle through the first sort of 3 or 4 bars, I think I hit those, but then there's a middle bar that I still always fuck up on, and I fuck that one up, and I just push through. And then the song ends, the whole time I'm heads down, not looking at the crowd, I'm just kind of waving around like drunk Bruce Lee, like the drunken master Jackie Chan, something like that. And I'm just kind of like, and I come to after the end of the song, and I'm fucking loving it, I'm so pumped, I was like, this is amazing. And then I look up, and the crowd don't applause at the end, really. They just kind of look like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, these people really don't even know what rap is or hip hop. They've been doing ABBA.
It's got an old crowd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really old crowd. It was mostly...
was it an old crowd?
Yeah,
60-year-olds.
It was mostly 65-year-olds who have got nothing
God.
else to do in Seaford, and they've just seen like a contemporary hip hop, not just hip hop, but like you know, alt rap sort of alt hip hop.
Yeah, was it like awkward while you were on stage? Was
Nah,
it like,
no. I don't. That's the thing with me and awkwardness. Power. I don't really. I do get awkward all the time, but I'm so awkward. I'm just used to it.
Right.
Like it doesn't bother. It doesn't faze me anymore. Now it's just like I just gotta like power through. Like I'm insane, and I just accept my awkwardness, and Lill's laughing at me, and it's just like that's who I am. I'm just a neurotic mess of like self. Like no one is harsher on me than me. Like, if you're harsher on me than me, then I want to meet you because you're really fucked up, right? Like, hey, you're really fucked up. So I do this song, and the whole time I remember looking up, and the only woman I saw, one woman right there. She must have been 70, just in the right at the front of the stage, because you kind of can't really see the whole crowd, and this woman just, you know, mouth agape, like, what the fuck? I'm like, no one's clapping. I don't even remember if I heard applause or not, but I just ran off the stage, went straight down the middle alley, ran out the door, and hugged my father-in-law. That was it. And then I came back and hung out, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that. And I remember asking like you and Liam, Conor. I asked you, Conor and Liam. I says like, was it any good? And they're like, yeah, mate, like, it was good. Like, and I was like, you just have so much worry. But like, you just gotta have fun on stage. That's all it is. People just want to watch someone having fun. Like. That's for me. That's like the spirit of it.
And you're introducing like a type of music that crowd are never ever
because that's Brighton music. Like we're like the that's the Brighton rap culture. Like where I mean I'm not like a part of like the bigger labels in Brighton, but like I know a lot of like I know a lot of people who are making with South Lanes and all that. Like it's like I know there's a good sound in Brighton, and there's studios that are really coming up, and it's really exciting time to be a musician in Brighton. But yeah, like these people. Well, they don't even know who like 50 Cent or Eminem is. Do you know what I mean? Like they might know 50 and Eminem, but like, do you know what I mean? Like anyone that's not like super,
Yeah, well, they're not going to know Atmosphere, right?
Exactly.
Like,
they're not going to know the Rhyme Says Gang at all. No, exactly. Like who? That's the thing.
They wouldn't even know like Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know Gambino or anyone like that.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't. And it's like that for me is really interesting because like as someone who like I can't get enough of that music. I don't know why that music isn't more in the culture. I mean, I don't. You could probably speak to that a bit, Oska. Actually, I'd be quite curious to hear your thoughts on that. Like, what keeps the underground rap underground?
I don't know. It's like that underground rap that we're referring to is like 90s and like early 2000s. So I feel like that time kept it underground because like in the early 2000s people were beginning to use the internet and have their like own websites and stuff, but it weren't like how it is with social media where you're exposed to everything, and Spotify for music from the other end of the globe, you're not subject to those things. So I think like some things like the Minneapolis scene and all that, it stayed underground because it was self-contained and they went on small tours, but like they were mainly country based, but yeah, I feel like in this age, as you say, you get up on Spotify and then you're a Spotify rapper, you're like, or like the whole mumble rap phase came out through Spotify, SoundCloud, sorry.
Yeah, you're a SoundCloud rapper. That was a diss. It's so funny. I've been around other musicians and I've had people go, "Oh, you're a SoundCloud rapper." I'm like, yeah, that's how I work. Like that's my platform. I enjoy that platform, and it's like I get it. But like now, SoundCloud's evolved so much. You can just publish music through SoundCloud and be independent the whole time. And that level of independence is for an artist is an amazing thing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That was so sloshy.
So Oscar's picking a beer out of a very sloshy beer cooler. This is Beerman. Oscar handing a beer over to Conor. This is.
It's just been there for 6 hours.
It's just coincidence.
Leanne's now throwing a tea towel.
Thank you.
Which has got a map of Barbados on it. So there you go. That's
that's
one of my favourite tea towels. That's come from Barbados. I love that tea towel.
Can I have it?
No, fuck you, man. You guys come around my house and fucking steal my shit, man. He was threatening. You guys were both threatening to steal my shit.
I never said nothing.
No, you fucking were. Your silence was
slanderous lie.
But no, like that.
Yeah.
But that hip hop sound like. Because I asked you this because. For some reason, like I just found, like you're saying, like on Spotify, I just found Atmosphere. Atmosphere was my entry point into Rhyme Says music.
Yeah, the whole Minneapolis.
That Minneapolis scene. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there, but it's just such good music.
Yeah,
it's insanity. Like, and no one knows about it, especially in England. I mean, people do, but you're the first person I met in the world.
Underground, but it's not like super underground. There is like a whole community of people who like that stuff. I've met loads of other people who like Atmosphere. I remember being out skating once with my speaker on and it had Atmosphere on. Someone walked past and was like, "Oh, that's Atmosphere." So there are people, especially there's people in Brighton, who listen to it. But it is just more. It's more personal than something like Eminem or like especially Eminem these days. I quite like the early stuff. I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, Eminem is a great rapper, and he's a great lyricist.
Yeah, but he fell off years and years and years ago, and hasn't ever got back on.
He was really good.
Yeah, once upon a time, but he is just once upon a time, and he's not like Slug, who's still rhyming,
who's just doing the real shit all the time. Yeah,
that Golden Oldies track, that was insane. So, yeah.
But and that's the thing. Like when you really go deep on Rhyme Says and you listen to all of the people under that label, like. What's really cool is there's a whole narrative behind it, like with Idea and Abilities, and like when Idea passed, and then you hear that reflected in the music, and when you start doing the digging into the lyrics, you realise that Mickey what was I did? And you're like, oh my god, like, and then you come to all this reality late and delayed, and it's really quite intense. Like now when I listen to Idea and Abilities, like there is a bittersweetness to it all because of what happened, and like it's one of the saddest, most profound things ever. And like Abilities, DJ Abilities, it to me, to my mind, is the best turntablist in the history of humanity, right? Like there is no one greater. Like I honestly, like, he is the king.
He's great at what he does, but what he does is a really extreme version of, like, there's guitar players like Steve Vai who play like 1,000 notes per second. Do you know what I mean? They play crazy amounts of notes, but it's not the amount of notes, it's the spaces you leave, the spaces you leave in between.
Sure.
And with DJ Abilities, he is like, it's really fast, it's really technical, it's cool. But people who use it in moderation, like DJ Premier, I think are far at the forefront because they understand where to leave silence and to work around a groove. You don't need to work in like 32nd and 64th notes, Right. You can work in 8th notes and it sounds just as good.
I agree to some extent, but like what drew me, like, I mean, E&A, that record, right? Like,
but the humour that Abilities can bring in through scratching is really impressive.
Yeah, that tag team, that duology of those two, for me was what because it's weird, like growing up, I was a big Transformers fan, right? Like most sort of boys my age, right? Like we all just love Transformers. But the one Transformer in the later films, the one that really spoke to me was that first film with Bumblebee, when Shia LaBeouf discovers Bumblebee, and Bumblebee just talks in the radio, and I was like, mate, I like to just do that. Like, and that's when I heard E&A, and I was like, I heard Abilities just talking over with the record,
with the scratches, making sentences out of choice words. That
I was like, that's why I have to do that, and that's why I became a turntable.
It's really clever.
It's just like that back and forth. Because it's like sometimes you don't want to use your voice.
The thing that Abilities represents in terms of scratching is the move from analog to digital. Because the way that he's scratching digitally. So he's taking a lot of things that weren't ever pressed to vinyl and putting them into, you've seen electronic turntables, dropping them into the system there and using those things. So he's kind of stepping away from like the original form of scratching, which was a needle on a piece of plastic.
Well, that's how I do it. Like I can't, and, my technique is
the way that Abilities functioned is through drag and drop, kind of. Right. As far as I'm aware, he used electronic.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him using he knows his shit. Like I've seen, there's some really good like obscure YouTube videos of him like cutting in with a crossfader into live doing.
Oh, I mean, it's all it functions the exact same, and a lot of them the expensive ones, you wouldn't be able to tell that they weren't analog. Right. You can even put different bits of plastic on the top, and the plastic function like vinyl, So, yeah, I'm pretty sure he is digital. I think, but that's what I'm trying to say. He's kind of like
right. No, I did take your
pioneered point. That.
Yeah, okay. So that is really profound, right? Because what I've also as a musician, because I'm fed up of when you make beats a lot of the time, you hear it in a lot of when people are starting out making beats, quite often everything is done in 8-bar loops or 4-bar loops, and it's quantized perfectly, and it has this kind of stop-start feel to it. And as a rapper, I can't stand that. The really good beat makers and the really good beats, they kind of they transcend the bar markers.
They don't need quantization. Yeah. They don't need things like that.
And that for me, it kills the flow. It's if you listen to proper jazz, I'm at the moment.
That's really surprising that you don't like Jay Dilla then.
Yeah, I do like Jay Dilla. I love Jay Dilla so much I can't rap over his beats. Right. Because to me the beats are just the beats. They're not even beat, they're just instrumentals. Yeah. And it's I just listen to it and I'm like, I don't know where he's going. I can't, there's no I don't, I'm sure if I worked really hard I could find my way onto a Jay Dilla beat, but mostly it's just too good and I just enjoy it too much. It doesn't need anything. Quite often when you meet a beat maker, you'll give us a beat and the beat maker is kind of, they're building this thing and they're excited as well as you to you're going to launch into something new. And when a beat really speaks to you, there's this weird magic that happens between the beat. When we did our track, And it's like, dude, this is fucking talking to me. Like, I'm getting goosebumps, and you're looking at me like, yeah, man, that's the shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, it's one of the most profound things to hear a beat and suddenly hear words in your mind. It's so much fun. We might make a little beat later. I don't know how. We got like, we could do some beatbox beats. But that's my story. We went on a big musical tangent. Yeah, we went on a big musical tangent, and it's good.
Have you got a long story to match?
I haven't.
You've not.
I might do.
Can you like tell us your upbringing?
Yeah, kind of.
My entire
where did you grow up?
Can you do year by year, but like make every year about half an hour long?
I could do, yeah.
You can get those.
So when I was 1, things were quite tough. You know.
Hard upbringing.
You know, I was out on the street hustling,
jacking cars.
I was a snooker hustler. I pretend to be shit, and 1 year old, you know, and then I'd trick people. They'd put 100 quid on the table.
I don't think that's true because snooker now you're.
Oh, I'm amazing.
You guys play a lot of snooker, don't you?
Well, do you know what? I'm really glad that you brought that up because I really, really want to shout out James Watanabe.
Yeah, James Watanabe.
James Watanabe is my favourite snooker player, and the only reason I've come on the podcast is to shout out James Watanabe. So
James, you're a hero to these men.
James, if you're listening, we love you, cunt.
Right, well, I think I'm fatigued. Are you guys fatigued? I'm knackered.
I'm a little bit fatigued.
Should we? Do you want to, Lill? Do you have a story?
No.
Do you want to close the show? Can you close the show?
I'll save it for next
Just
time.
come here and close the show.
No.
Just say thank you all for listening. It's been a pleasure. I don't know. So do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
Christmas cheese sandwiches.
We talk about cheese and crisp sandwiches.
Yeah,
Cheese and crisp sandwiches. I'm done. You guys, I'm
You
done.
don't want to talk about Mike V fighting 4 guys with his shirt off.
That does sound quite interesting.
Okay, so
Tell me the story. Go on.
Mike V got called Skater Pussy. So
Mike Valley.
Remember
Mike Valley?
Yeah. So who is Mike Valley for the listeners?
He's a skateboarder.
But he's very famous skateboarder because he's a vert monster.
Fuck.
He is just an insane.
No, he's a street monster.
He's a street monster. I thought he was a big vert. He was a vert guy.
No.
Did you not see him at the back, Barrett? He skates crazy shit.
He's transition.
He can skate transition, but he's basically one of the pioneers of street skating, along with Gons and Natas.
I'm out of touch, man.
He's very important street skater. But anyway, he's also
incredibly aggressive, hard nut, and a group of 4 people called him a Skater Pussy or something.
When was this?
Yeah. Oh,
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like skateboarding lore.
Oh yeah, this is old. This is old.
There's a video clip of it.
I think I've actually seen that video clip.
I'll show you after.
Yeah.
It's just like something to live by. You know,
Exactly.
it's one of those videos that you look at and you're like, yeah, that's something I live by. And
I wish I was might be.
So these 4 guys start hassling him and they surround him, and then he takes his shirt off and he grabs 2 of them with like left arm and right arm. And then he goes for the one in front, and then he hits the one behind, and he fights 4 people off on his own.
It just beats them and shit out of them.
Oh Jesus! But like, why did they confront him? Like, what was the confrontation?
Because they were saying like skateboarding's stupid or something like.
Skater pussy or something.
Yeah,
like
and he just lost. He just went for them.
Yeah.
Well, he was just defending himself.
Oh right, okay.
4 jocks just kind of like thinking that he's not worth anything.
Right. Yeah.
And that he's not going to be able to like handle himself, and that they can bully him. And then he completely makes a fool of a lot of them. Yeah. And you know,
the shirt comes off.
The shirt comes off. You know.
But that's the skater. Like, don't fuck with skaters. Like,
exactly.
Like we jump off like walls and shit for fun. It's like the amount of times I have like eaten concrete.
Yeah.
Like literally, I've eaten concrete like so many, and it's just like what the fuck's the matter?
We've had some disgusting slams. I remember coming off a half pipe about a 6 footer and coming off at the top of it as a kid, and then falling that 6 foot to the concrete and coming home with like half of my face red. Do you know what I mean? From gravel rash.
Yeah, like I remember I've had road rash, you know, bombing hills and like taking off all of the flesh of my shins, like
hill bombs. Brutal,
it's one of those things. But I've never like really fucked myself up. Like I've never been hit by a car.
Have you ever had a break?
I've broken fingers, but I've never done my wrist.
From skateboarding.
Yeah, I've broken my leg playing football, but I never done anything skating, like, you know, touch wood and all that. But like,
it's one of those. It's one of those things that it's part of the job, isn't it?
Yeah.
You gotta accept.
You always get one.
You always get one. That's it. You know?
Yeah.
and you fall down, you better get back up. You know?
Yeah, but that's what you do.
It's like that anti-hero kind of like LA way of thinking, you know, like if you get hurt, you know, it's just like it's because you're doing it wrong, so get up and do it again until you do it right, you know.
Yeah, no,
then you'll stop being hurt.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, you learn to fall, right? Like you get better at falling.
We were talking about this today when we were skating, because you what was the trick that you jumped off and you fell really well?
Oh, was it you in a 5-0, wasn't it?
Was it me?
The 5-0 you fucked up.
That was me.
Too many beers, man.
Too many beers, man. We also wanted to shout out Stella.
Oh my god, you guys, you're just destroying my podcast. I was like, no brands, and here we are advertising fucking beer.
You can bleep the brand.
I'll bleep the brand.
But yeah.
That's your beer though. You like that?
I love Stella.
It's a white beer and it's got a bit of red in the middle. Yeah. And blokes drink it. Can
I tell my Stella story?
Yeah. Okay. I'm fucking. Okay. Let's go.
I was at a festival in Belgium, right? So it was in Leuven. In Belgium, yeah. It's a festival called Rockworks. Radiohead were playing that day, just to give you context. So I was on the bus there, and the bus crashed. So the bus crashes. I step outside on the bus, and I'm in the middle of like the countryside somewhere. There's a big warehouse in front of me. I look up. It's the fucking Stella Artois factory.
Whoa! So your bus crashes outside. Okay.
It's like a heavenly moment because I was a bit dazed and confused because I've been on the beers already, and I walked out. I see this fucking Stella Artois logo on the side of this building. I was like, oh my god!
How are you gonna bleep that out?
Yeah, that will have to stay, man. Like, this will just be an ad for Stella. I thought, like,
and
it's happening. Okay.
Stella and James Watanawa.
Yeah, there we go.
It's all right. You don't clear your samples. Don't clear your brand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh, mate, Sony are gonna come for me at some point. I'm so scared. Anyway, sorry, continue.
So yeah, went to the Stella Artois factory tour, waiting for the bus. It was the greatest day of my life. It was fucking amazing.
How much was the tour?
Did you get like a factory tour?
Yeah, got a factory tour, yeah.
And with free Stella?
There was some free Stella, yeah, but they just showed you around. So I learned all about the owner, Sebastian Artois, great guy, by the right.
Was he a good guy?
Yeah, apparently they told me he was. So.
Well, they would say that, wouldn't they?
They would say that.
He might have been terrible.
The
atrocities of the Artois factory.
The atrocities of Artois.
Yeah, there we go.
That sounds like a novel.
There probably is not. There's a Wikipedia page somewhere with some very dubious content, right?
I don't want to know.
On the dark web.
Yeah.
Only dark web.
My hero, Sebastian Artois.
Oh god,
great bloke.
Yeah, so your bus just crashes outside the Stella Artois brewery in Belgium.
Yeah.
You pay for a tour.
Yeah.
That's good money. Was it like, how much was that?
I honestly, it was in euros. I just gave them the money.
Just gave them the money, yeah. And the tour was good. It was
insightful,
great, interesting.
Yeah. Just take my money.
Yeah, I'm
here.
Yeah,
just take my money.
I'm so excited to be here.
Especially that being on
just put any number in it. Yeah. I'll tap it.
Take my card, mate. Here's the details. See you later. Just let me walk around.
Keep the card.
Let me swim in a vest.
And then, so does the bus get fixed?
Yeah, there was a replacement bus that picked us up. I was so loath to go as well. I was like in the beer shop after. I was like, oh, your bus is here.
For 6 hours of drinking.
I don't want to see Tom York. I want to be.
Wow.
But in fairness, that is a great festival in Belgium.
Yeah, you'd recommend it.
Oh yeah. I was at Radiohead and there was 80,000 people watching.
What was the name of the festival?
Rockworcher.
Rockworcher.
Yeah.
Do you know, is that Belgium?
It's Belgium, yeah.
But
Worcher's the town.
Right. Oh, okay, I get it. Cool. Oh, wow. Was that expensive? How much was?
Oh God, no. This is 2017. Like, I'm not too sure. But all I remember there was when we bought the tickets, we had on top of it £300 of beer money as well as some sort of deal. We paid like 150 for it. So me and my two mates went to the carver store before, bought 2 carvers each, and my mate went, "Oh, just down the first one." So we downed the first like glass of carver, and the woman looked at me and was like, "Fucking English." So yeah.
Oh god.
That was fun.
No class abroad, the English.
I have no class.
Not the English. No, the English are fine. It's just fucking Conor.
And you're terrible.
Oh no, I'm terrible. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Oh dear me.
I drink beer off the floor in Camden.
I mean, Ali did a shoey in Volks once.
Australian Ali. Yeah.
I've done loads of shoeies, man.
I've never done it.
What, Lianne? What's the shoey for the?
It's basically where you just take your shoe off,
Fill
and
up
you
a
pour
shoe,
beer
yeah.
in it, so it's like hot foot shoe beer, and then you drink it.
I think
from the shoe.
Harrison, the host of the podcast,
Oh, I should do a shoey.
should have a shoe.
No,
Should I do a
that's
shoey?
disgusting, no,
I'm not.
I'm not letting you do that to my shoes. Like,
He has stars.
Luckily, I'm
and
wearing
your
Crocs.
Your Crocs, yeah.
No, not the croc beer. No.
Oh Jesus.
That would be terrible.
Oh, there's an ad for Crocs. I feel there is this thing about like if you draw attention to something by saying don't look at it, it just draws more attention.
Yeah, true.
So my moaning about ads is just making more ads.
I realize
It's compounding adification because I'm so afraid
I
of
think you should.
adification.
I think you should seek out a load of ads and have a load of advert breaks during the duration of the podcast.
Just
Put
stuff.
as many as you can in, so that there's more advert time than there is like talking.
Yeah, full circle with old
Yeah.
media. Yeah, fuck.
Really annoy your listeners.
Yeah, just annoy them. Sorry, listener, we're gonna annoy you. Anyway, I think I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I'm
are we
good,
done?
man, yeah.
We done well.
I'm
Do you
good.
want to end on some funky bass? Do you want to do some funky? Are you drunk?
No,
you too
I did.
Drunky bass.
You
Am
did
I-
some funky bass.
Am I
Drunky
too drunk?
I don't know.
Am I too?
Oh, shit. Here we go. Go on, I dare you, do some funky slap bass. Come on, man. That bass wants to get slapped.
Down a beer vendor.
Come on.
That bass wants to get slapped.
It does. My bass is like, please. I'm so
Please
bad.
slap me.
Please, someone talented
It'd be
slap me.
better if you gave me a line in, so it'd be better if we jammed after. But I'll give it a slap.
Just go on. Just do you want me to? If you can, if you.
I'll give it.
Just. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. This has been Joker and the Bard. We got some fucking sick bass in the background there, and that is Oska on the bass. Woo! Thank you, Oska. We got Conor over here. Thank you, Conor. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
And of course, the lovely Lianne Fox. She's always in the chair, always watching over her insane fiance, who can definitely satisfy her. Thank you all.
Satisfies me, man. Satisfies me, man. Satisfies me,
I know what to do. I can
Satisfies
satisfy
me,
her because
man.
I'm super flu. I got beats and bars and funky bass. I rap a little bit, don't sound disgrace, sounds real good. Real good. Woo!
Hold on. James, what now?